Requests for courtesy visits by notable militant leaders and ethnic militias from the oil-rich region to Tinubu in the villa have lately been disapproved by the presidency. There are strong indications that President Bola Tinubu has barred all ex-Niger Delta militant leaders from visiting him in the presidential villa Abuja. Already, leadership learned that requests for courtesy visits by notable militant leaders and ethnic militias from the oil-rich region to Tinubu in the villa have lately been disapproved by the presidency. It was gathered that the decision was taken in the aftermath of the visit to Tinubu by the leader of the defunct Niger Delta People's Volunteer Force, Asari Dokubo, on June 16, 2023. Asari Dokubo, a die-hard and staunchest supporter of Tinubu, backed and supported the president in the run-up to 2023 presidential election. It was gathered that Tinubu, in ordering the action, was disturbed by public utterances and actions of Asari Dokubo in the aftermath of his visit to him days after he assumed the mantle of leadership of the country. Leadership learned that Tinubu was bothered that all verbal vituperations and militant activities of Asari Dokubo in the Niger Delta were subsequently linked to him after the June audience with the notable activist. As he stepped out of the villa, Asari Dokubo, in a chat with the State House reporters, took on the armed forces, accusing its personnel of being neck-deep in economic sabotage, especially crude oil theft and vandalism of oil equipment in the region. The allegation, it was reviewed, embarrassed and shocked Tinubu, especially because he made the shocking revelation moments after departing his office. Dependable sources in the presidency told the leadership that Dokubo's outburst against the military within the vicinity of the villa gave the inkling that the president shared the same views with the notable ex-militant commander. Leadership gathered that the presidency was ruffled by the attacks on the president by notable Nigerians over the utterances and actions of Asari Dokubo, especially his effrontery in the reckless public assemblage of gun-wielding youth in his enclave in Rivers State. The gun-bearing renegades often appeared in viral videos with Asari Dokubo assuming commanding roles. Asari Dokubo's unacceptable conduct in the eyes of the presidency moved beyond tolerable level when he took on the Rivers State governor, similar Naye Fubara, threatening to deal with the chief executive of the oil-rich state. The presidency was said to be hyped that his association with the president continued to give a wrong signal to the public that he enjoyed the support and backing of the nation's #1 citizen. Leadership learned that the president has ordered that he would no longer play host to the ex-militant commanders and militias in the villa, apparently to forestall the negative impression and unenviable signals such association was likely to create in the psyche of the public. To this end, one of our sources in the presidency told the news platform that all individuals known to be linked with the Niger Delta ethnic crisis and oil industry unrest in the region who requested for courtesy visits and audience with the president in the aftermath of the Asari Dokubo's experience had their applications declined by the presidency. The president was said to have resolved to distance himself from some militant leaders linked with head in view of the experience with Asari Dokubo. A notable militant from the region who made requests for an audience with the president last week lamented to leadership that his application was declined by the authorities in the nation's seats of power. The militant, who pleaded that his name should not be mentioned in print, said the presidency shunned all entreaties to enable him to meet the president. He said top officials of the presidency pointedly informed him that the president was not disposed to meeting with members of his group. He said, I planned to lead my group to see Tinubu and we sent in our request as usual for that courtesy call in July. We have been waiting patiently for the approval of our application and likely date for me to lead members of my Niger data group for an audience. Oh my god, surprisingly they could not even get that. That's it. Mm. Can you imagine? Hmm. Too late. Impressions have been created, right or wrong. I agree with you. Now today, you know that Tinubu, he does things before he thinks. Now Nigerians have been able to know the stuff he's made of. He's been exposed. He's been disgraced. That he takes action before acting. Too late. Yeah, I agree with you. What the president is doing now is a face-saving action after openly obnobbing with the leader of a notorious Niger Delta militant. Has he been licensed to carry firearms? If the presidency noticed that he came to Abuja with his boys with firearms, does it mean that the authority that arrested Godwin Emefiele because of the same offense doesn't know? God will ask us if we don't give equal treatment to the offenders. Asari should be arrested and prosecuted. This is a hide and seek reportage. The public knows the truth. Yeah, barring him should not even be enough. If they are serious on face mending, he should be arrested and investigated. You only need them to rig elections. Now elections are over. They are constituting nuisance. Had they not? Asari Dokubo should be arrested immediately. How can Nnamdi Kanu and Emefiele be detained while Asari Dokubo works freely? No normal sitting president will had or negotiate a deal with a militant or a terrorist. As far as Nigeria knew, Mr. Tinubu is working with Dokubo to bring more hardship to the citizens of Nigeria.